It seems like Localizer and game company are not only mad that they have been exposed for trying to push propaganda or agenda into gaming, manga, and anime, but even more so that neither their tactic on trying to gaslight the public using media nor the victim card is working anymore. And now apparently they are throwing a huge tantrum online. Hello there, how should I'm Mega Kita there. So obviously today random chat, as you guys can definitely see, is yes, we are going to talk about the Localizer and game company where they're trying to so-called push agenda or propaganda or whatever that is anything that is suitable to their own taste into the masses, as well as trying to take it that it should be the norm, that they are the norm along the line, until when they've been exposed for doing so, and now not only did they try to so-called push or try to gaslight people, but now they even more mad that it's not working in their favor, and now apparently they are throwing a whole tantrum like a young little kid trying to ask their daddy or mommy for a game console at this moment of time. So obviously before we start anything on this, that, whatever along the line, do know that some of the information which I will highlight later, that if they are under rumors, I will highlight them as such, but they have, like, the rumor do have their strong point, as well as that even so we still have to take a lot of salt and throw it at the screen when we need to. So before we do anything, let's go back to Localizer, my favorite topic apparently, because if it can get me to talk about a lot of time in my own YouTube channel, in my part where I talk about Localizer giving weird reason to justify their translation, or Localizer attack, or maybe title might be done in by a Localizer, or Localizer trying to lie to Japanese game company along the line. It's not the first time I do those. You can see the date over there. It's so then obvious that it's 6 months ago, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and even more so that now that Match 80 is talking about it in his own video. Yeah, it's kind of like, dude, this had been ongoing for who know how long when ago, and now I'm back to able to talk about it again. Hey, since I haven't talked about Localizer for quite a while, might as well just talk about it again, right, guys? So yeah, I actually talked about it last time about how they're trying to justify their translation and trying to push their agenda, propaganda, ideology, whatever into gaming, into anime, into mangas. Even more so that in a lot of anime title lately, that once you look at the title, once you look at the original title, you definitely in your mind will be like, hey, that doesn't seem right. It's totally different name. Yeah, it's really not at the time of like translation. Is no longer 1:1. For me, who used to work a little bit on translation as well as learning Japanese myself, the one important thing is that when you learn a language, it's not just learning the language. You have to learn the culture, the reason for why those words is being used in that point of time or being used as on a daily basis. And obviously, learning this kind of thing take time. It took me around 7 years to understand fully. But even so, I still don't call myself fluent on Japanese. I'm just saying I'm good at conversational Japanese. I'm able to speak in Japanese. Anyone always notice that when I do speak in Japanese, it can be very fluent, and sometimes it can be depending on the situation. But the one thing I do know very, very well is that when you do translation, it's weird that when you like watch subtitle, like back in the past, I used to think that, hey, watching subtitle it should be the way to go. That's if we can't learn the Japanese, maybe read the subtitle is the best way to go. Yeah, that is only if the subtitle is done by a fan sub, not a official sub, not whatsoever along the line. Reason being is that sometimes having this kind of like people going around claiming that they are the translator, they are the localizer, but I thought about it long ago, saying that they have been so-called mistranslating stuff from who know how long when ago, as well as that the stories doesn't seem to make sense, and now they've outright admitted in their tantrum after being exposed for all these things about how AI, like I talk about, is like how they got replaced by AI, how a lot of Japan now even now aware that they it was all the localizer issue, and they have been done a lot of Japan culture or world have been so-called vandalized, have been destroyed by the Western propaganda. So obviously when all this has finally happened, and now after a few months, it actually kind of amazing, it took me around the whole situation to finally get JT-san to talk about it, is now they admit, because now it's related to games. in games, now they admitted it themselves that they have been mistranslating not only in manga and anime, but also in games. So the reason for them is that if they don't like the game, if they don't care whether is it paying respect to the author, they don't care about paying respect to or whether is it considered vandalism or not, they just say that if it's not to their taste, they're gonna change it. They are the localizer, they are the professionalism or professional translator, as they quote. Which is kind of like weird that how can they do this sort of thing. It's like translation, which I always say back then, I will say it again, it's always to be 1:1 with the understanding of the culture as well as understanding of the language. But with now someone by the name Katrina admitting herself in her own video where she say that, oh, I'm the professional, I work in this industry, you are not the right people to, I can add my propaganda, I can do my everything, and then people are going to deal with it. And you know what? If you don't like it, the audience is not meant for you. It really just shows how much of the mask that she had just thrown out of the window. It's not only that she is admitting that she is a freaking skin lady at this point of time, but actually more so that she had admitted in the video that she has lied to the Japanese people that they are doing it for the global audience. Right on the moment when I did a random chat about on a random global audience, which amazingly that Japanese have been believing so now that this person, this so-called localizer, had actually admitted it, that she had been saying that if you don't like it, you are not a target audience, when it was meant that it should be a global audience. It's like global audience doesn't mean like, oh, it's not you, it's not for you, it's not for you. It's to be for everyone. It's the same thing for DEI. I mean inclusive. It's not just inclusive of the black people, it's inclusive of Asian people, inclusive of ASEAN people, inclusive of white people as well. So right now, this idiotic of a localizer admittedly in the video saying it that she is not doing it for the intended audience, when everyone is when the global audience is meant for everyone. Now she just admitted on 2 points that she had been lying to the Japanese, as well as that she had admitted that the word global audience or the modern audience was never meant for the right audience. It was meant for their agenda, propaganda, or in the words, extremists at this point of time. So whether we all like it or not, we have to sit down and understand that maybe it's crazy that they admitted it, that they have been pushing this kind of thing. And even more so that while these few cases will have to take with a huge pinch of salt, it is still a rumor. But it's amazingly that now there is insider in-game company indicating that, hey, the so-called Yasuke was also another propaganda apparently. So amazingly that there is insider exposed indicating that there was actually a war agenda in the game, which is the reason why Yasuke was being pushed as the main antagonist, the main character of whatever along the line. And it's even more so that it's kind of weird. Why would you put a black man going around killing Asian people? Even more so that a lot of people say that, hey, why do you stop Asia hate doesn't work out? It's because they're being attacked by the black. And now they're even admitting it in a game video that, hey, we must have a black people going around killing Asian people, which is the Japanese in this game, which I've been calling Assassin's Creed Shadow to be a very racist game for who know how long. When you can go and check out all my past random chat when I'm talking about it, it's always I always mention it, it's a racist game, it's a racist game. People don't believe me. Now it's being called a racist game, and now people realize that it was all a racist game all along. It's kind of amazing that I have been pushing it and I've been going about it, and now people is now turning head and looking at it. Yeah, do tell quite a lot of things that I've been looking at things at the right point and no one ever believed my point. Well, if you don't believe it, go and look at parts of my video. If not, share it to other people and make more people realize this is really a propaganda. And it's even more so, even funnier when I was like looking at the rumor. But do understand that despite that being a rumor, the game was, they did mention that it was supposed to include a Japanese main character. But because they decided to swap somewhere into the 2022 to Yasuke, mainly due to the reason the Black Lives Matter. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against Black Lives Matter. I believe hate against black it should be something that everyone should address because it's fall under racism. And I've been fighting against racism for who knows how long when. But the reason why I stopped fighting for racism was because I was called a racist for fighting against racism, which is kind of like ironic. But now that people are now turning head and looking at it, hey, something is wrong. And it's more so that even despite this being a rumor, people are going to believe it with at face value no matter what. Reason being that the point on that, if the game was supposed to be a main character by using a Japanese guy, instead they change it to black people because they want to say, hey, at the time we got the black man, can we go and search that, is there any black man? Oh, you know what, there is a Yasuke, let's use him instead. Without understanding is there any correct source to it, they just use a quack historian, they just use a quack Japanese consultant who so happen to be under a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, and now they got caught up for it, they got exposed for it, and they realized that even at the start when I'm in Rev some video where they trying to use the one-legged Tory game, which is so happened to be only happening after the dropping of the atomic bomb. It's kind of ironic that no one in the right mind, I can assure you, for me who don't understand a lot of Japanese culture, there is no way you can have that one-leg Tory gate at anywhere, and no one is in the right mind to even destroy or hit this kind of thing, because the reason is simple. It is very scattered, it is very defined, and anyone who attack that is mean that they are against the god. And people in the past Japanese always believe in God, even if they go to battle or whatever. It's the same thing as Rome when they or the Greek when they say for the Jews or for the Athena or what, for the god or what along the line. It's like Japanese have their own god, so they pray to the god, and if attacking it mean going against the god, they are afraid they will get punishment or they will also lose the battle, which is the reason why there is no way you get to see any Torii gate to be destroyed. The reason why you get to see this was because it was happening in somewhere, the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, these two areas, but this in this case is, I believe, is Nagasaki. Nagasaki. That gate only happened because it was that area, Nagasaki was one of the atomic bomb area. And if you see that, it just basically mean that that's just, if people believe the gate is defined, that's the reason why one half of it is still standing, because they believe that that gate hold defined power that do not allow it to be destroyed. The other half was destroyed by the atomic bomb. So in a way, that's how much belief in Define in Japan, from how much I know. And that's the reason why a lot of people always visit the shrine no matter what, even during New Year. So anyone who do want to know that if you see this kind of gate in the past, it's probably just people rewriting history at this point of time. Considering that Ubisoft have been going around trying to indicate that they are most on the historical accurate, only for this to realize that they have been using the wrong history, which I've been calling the Japanese consultant they hired to be a quack, and as well as the Yasuke historian to be also another quack. I have put up 2 videos on those, so if you guys want to know, go and check out them, link in the description below. But don't worry, Red-san video as well as JT-san video will also be linked according in the description below if you guys want to check out their video. They talk more about it, and I would recommend you guys to check them out as well. The interesting part about this whole ordeal is that because they finally got caught up, that the so-called higher up at Japan, for the higher up at Ubisoft are now aware that they have been all wrong along, which a lot of gamers have been calling them all along. I believe that at this point of time they can't ignore this anymore. Japanese is now aware. The Japan now know. So now that they've been caught up for it, obviously they decided to so-called delay the game. But even more so that when they trying to delay the game, apparently there is news source and information indicating that the February 2025 is just a placeholder. There may still be a chance of the day being delayed even further. And even more so that there is still rumor throwing out there, which I believe to be so-called trying to sway the public in their so-called favor along the line, which I say that now they are probably trying to gaslight the mass media using along the line, using the media to gaslight people, manipulate the so-called everything in their favor. And now that it's not working, obviously they are even more angry because it's the tactic they have been using for years is now not working anymore. And now that came up two sources. One indicating that Yasuke will stay as the main character, while another source indicating that there is a case of trying to remove Yasuke as the main character. So in a way, it's kind of like going to just tell the whole world that they are still trying to test the water, trying to indicate that if people are in favor of them replacing Yasuke, they will go with that. If not, they will change and say that, hey, there is no one mad about Yasuke being the main character, we are going to go with that along the line. So they are now testing the water, which is the reason why I believe these two rumors are being thrown out there. Although I don't really want to press the like button, and I hope Reza who saw this will understand my point, as well as JT if one of his video didn't get like, because when it comes to rumor, it is have to take things with a huge pinch of salt. I agree with most of their point, but one thing I don't agree is that from what I mentioned, I think that the rumor may be started out by those people and that they are trying to test water using this rumor. So it may be such as that because insider exposing the thing, sometimes the insider may be the people who is not aware of it and trying to say it with. But again, we do not know how truthful is that source. So even despite that, I still trying to give it a wait and see approach because it may be just a moment of testing the waters, testing the public opinion on Ubisoft at this point of time. Even if the so-called the newest Assassin's Creed game will be considered the genius game ever. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadow is not even released yet, and now they're coming out with a new Assassin's Creed Shadow game. Apparently, that from what it seems to be based in India, because I mean, like, sure, that can be considered Medusa, or maybe it can be happen in Rome. If it happen in Rome and they're adding propaganda to it again, yeah, that's gonna be a whole new. It's kind of funny though, when one game is not even done, they say, hey, let's release another game, let's start another game along the line. It's kind of like crazy to how I look at it. But again, do take note that whether will they actually remove Yasuke or not is still with a huge pinch of salt. I mean, like, even if they say that the game do include Japanese main and they have the so-called prototype, the so-called main is still there, even if they revert, February won't be likely be in time for it. And more so that if they do push it over to a later day, and even if they change it, they need to address the issue that they have messed up a lot. They are still not trying to admit their fault. They are still not trying to say that they did a lot of wrong thing, and they still thinking that they are right. But at this point of time, this is just only one of the game company out there that is still trying to test the water, trying to gaslight the mass. But even more so, even funnier, that another game company is now in hot water apparently because of the voice actor they hired. So Erika Ishin is actually being called out for being a work activities who is considered the most extreme even by some work activity standard. So from what I do know, and again this is based on what Telltale story, so it is considered with a huge pinch of salt and throw the salt at the screen if we need to. But the one thing we have to highlight is that now that they are trying to indicating that they are like the higher up are now not happy about this promotion, about this propaganda that is circling around the game in the bad light. When I say in the bad light, I mean that now gamers are now in time to not buying the game. Even more so that when the former head of the Sony actually admitted if you don't like the game, don't buy the game. It's like now the head at Sony is afraid even more mad that why would you guys not buy our game? Oh, we just realized that it was our problem along the line. Yep. If I'm working at Sony and I'm considered one of the higher up, I will be damn mad. I will keep this person out and I will just pay more to replace, because if they can pay $400 million for a game that they plug the game, like they pull the plug at the last moment and refund every money that people actually bought with it, it's insane that they won't even consider paying more money for this moment. If I'm the one, I will definitely for the money to get this Lele replaced. And if she doesn't want to get called Lele, then I had no idea what to call her at this point of time. Because at this point, it's more insane that how many woke people or people who love to push their agenda or people who want to whatsoever along the line and destroy gaming industry, manga industry, and anime industry. It's now being exposed, and now a lot of them are mad. A lot of people are throwing a tantrum. People are posting this and that and whatsoever along the line. Even when I'm been saying this for time and time again in my random chat channel, in a lot of parts of the video, not just things that under localization. Yeah, that say a lot from my end. It's a really like I thought I would be forgetting about the localizer since I have not taught it for nearing 7 months. Apparently, not so. Because they think that 7 months everyone's gonna forget. I'm gonna say it again, and yeah, even if I forget, doesn't mean that other people forget at this point of time. Isn't that right, guys? So yeah, I'm not sure about how you guys think, but considering that even like Game Engine have their own activities happening on their end, so at this point of time, it's insane how the toxic, how the poison had already taken deep root into the gaming industry, into the manga industry, as well as the gaming industry, the anime industry. It's insane now. They are now seeking, they are mad, they are crazy, they are throwing attention, whatever, and now they trying to gaslight people, manipulate people, or trying to say that they are the victim along the line. Yeah, I don't think it should be working. How I think is that they should actually change to be better. They should actually try to change with the time, try to improve on it. I mean, like if I can improve my Japanese for within 7 years, for them who do translation for over so many years, you can't be telling me that they haven't improved at all, right? If they still don't improve on it, just show how narrow-minded, how crazy they are, how stupid they can be. And it's at this point of time, I have no other words to describe them anymore. This is really one of the reasons why I'm really glad that I'm not working in that industry, but even more so that I'm just down here going to just continue talking about it. If they think that I forget, well, think again. There are a lot of people other than me who is not going to forget it. I'm just going to just sit down here, enjoy some popcorn, and talk about it and give my take again and again. But who knows? I mean, like, if you have your own thought, your own opinion, your own view, write in the comment below. We can discuss it further. Just write in the comment below whether you disagree, agree, or whatever along the line. That's what the comment for, right? But if you do like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat where I sometimes talk about stuff that sometimes makes sense, doesn't make sense, or totally random at a time. But the one thing I hope that is not random is have a nice day or night. Bye.